break of dawn for champions. On 32 FM 94.9.
Every day is another chance to do it all over again.
Get the best of starts on the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9. From motivationals
To news,
to sports and talk.
we'll give you all you need to make the best of your day.
On the break of dawn. 32 FM 94.9.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for starting your day with us today, Thursday, 5th of August 2021. Welcome to Break of Dawn Newspaper Review. 32 FM 94.9 Dugbe Ibadan. We are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube. 32 FM 949 Ibadan. Like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube page this morning. My name is Dele Adeoju. I have 6 newspapers here: the Daily Post, the Punch newspaper, the Nigerian Tribune, the Guardian, the Premium Times, and the Daily Trust newspapers. I take headlines first from the Daily Post newspaper. Governor Abdul swears in 3 more commissioners. NAFDAC vows intensive campaign against substandard products. In possession of curfew, 1 injured as Oro worshippers clash with Muslims in Ogun. Plateau unrest, NCPC boss condemns killings in Riyam, Basa local government areas. Sunday Igboho, Afenifere reacts as court stops Buhari government from arresting agitator. In security, COAS orders troops to intensify operations against bandits. Scenes of the past fighting me, Maritime Academy Rector Efedua. Oshpopi, Governor Zulum denies visiting Abakari. Oshun Algon gets new exco. Abducted Chibok student terrorist husband surrender to military. I take that again. Abducted Chibok student terrorist husband surrender to military. You encourage nature impunity. Showing laments failure of Nigerians to protest. Ohaneze Nigerian army meets over Southeast security. Flood sacks residents, destroys businesses in Oshogbo. Gunmen killed 68 persons, burned 63 houses, destroy farmlands in Kaduna communities. Also, detained Sunday Igboho's aides to no fate. On bail request 12 noon today. Court stops AGF DSS from arresting Sunday Igboho. Buhari government focusing on Nnamdi Kanu. Sunday Igboho ignoring banditry, Shehu Sani. And Boko Haram, over 4 million people in northeast Nigeria threatened by hunger. From the Punch newspaper this morning, I bring you some headlines too. NYSC denies serial COVID-19 cases in orientation camps. Herdsmen invaded 15 villages, burnt churches, 405 houses behind army headquarters, Ekwa. Police go after suspected assailants over bodiless head in Kwara. 150 Nigerian doctors ready for exams ahead practicing in UK. 150 Nigerian doctors ready for exams ahead practicing in UK. And my photo with Tinubu dispels rumor about his health. Sanwo-Olu. Police panel Grace Kyari embattled cop deletes Facebook post. Police panel Grace Kyari embattled cop deletes Facebook post. No more talks with bandits. Ransoms channeled into arms. Federal government. Also, Sanwo-Olu inaugurates waste trucks. 6 cleaner Lagos. 350 3,000 Northeast farmers to benefit from $6 million grant. Report ranks Nigeria second poorest in food affordability. Youths lead as INEC online registration jumps to 1,377,733. More headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning. 87 terrorists surrendered after bombardments of Sambisa Army. Media accreditation for Kanu's trial wrong. Finally here, Supreme Court judgment has vindicated us, says Jegede. Front page of the Nigerian Tribune this Thursday, the biggest headline there, FEC backs federal government's acquisition of $2.76 billion minority stake in Dangote refinery and a case award of $11.1 billion coastal railway project. Warri Kaduna refineries rehabilitation to go up $1.484 billion. What I discussed with Tinubu in London, Sanwo-Olu, Navy takes delivery of 50 gunboats, drones for maritime operations. 3 fared killed, government house fence. Others destroyed as downpour wreaks havoc in Osun. Cleaner Lagos, Sanwo-Olu launches 102 compactor trucks, 100 Dino beans. Abducted Chibok girl, terrorist husband, others surrender to Nigerian troops. And Father Christmas using gifts to destroy PDP, Secondus alleges as National Working Committee activates conflict resolution mechanism. Those are headlines from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this Thursday. From the Guardian newspaper, government Twitter silent as ban clocks 2 months. Biden taps Brzezinski's son as Poland ambassador amid reported row. Scorecard as federal government school feeding program across states. Tears grief as NYSC flies bodies of core members to Uyo for burial. Also, more Boko Haram ISWAP terrorist surrender in Northeast's army. Still taking headlines from the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria loses 530 billion naira yearly to motor insurance evasion. And also, we have these ones. Atiku distances self from plot to unseat Secondus, clarifies Rivers trip. Reinstated Anambra PDP exco resumes, backs Ozigbo as Guba candidate. Imo PDP governor differ on state of economy, unemployment. Those are headlines from the Guardian newspaper. And I move on now to the Premium Times newspaper. Seven people killed. Dangote trucks set ablaze as Okada riders clash escalates. "115 people killed by Nigeria security forces in countries southeast," report. And FEC approves $11.17 billion rail project to link all coastal cities. Nigerian government to invest $2.76 billion in Dangote refinery, $1.5 billion in Warri Kaduna refineries. Court grants bill to Sunday Igbo's aides. How we will end our crisis, PDP. Court stops SSS AGF from arresting Sunday Igboho. And from Daily Trust newspaper, before we take our first break, federal government why we stop negotiating with kidnappers. Also, how internal wranglings threaten to tear PDP. PDP BOT meets today as plot to sack Secondus thickens, while we abandon negotiation with kidnappers of students. FEC earmarks $1.484 billion for Kaduna Warri refineries, and also fresh worry for Abakari as Zulum's aide tackles him amid Ashpopi scandal. Confusion as Emirates says Nigerian flights remain suspended. Minister begs bandits on live TV. More headlines here. Buni committee has full legal backing. APC. PDP BOT meets today as plot to sack secondary takings I took that earlier. Of course, one more before wrap up from the headlines. Rao in Ogun, over 64 billion naira local government fund. You're listening to Brekadon Newspaper Review on 32 FM 94.9. I told you earlier we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. Ojo Eniolorun Dababalola, Akim Alatishe, and Isaac Otitoju. Besides you on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll take our first break for some messages. When we come back, we'll bring you our analyst via phone this morning. Stay with us.
láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí. FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ ṣe lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní. questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́yìn ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 081 68 73 7222.
bọ́nà kan ò ṣe wọjà nígbà aṣẹ́ kan ò ṣe tó jẹ mọ́ lásìkò tá a wà yìí láti wá tètè gúnlẹ̀ sébùtì ògo la fi ní ká fọwọ́ wà fàjẹ̀wà pẹ̀lú multilevel marketing cooperative investment credit society limited ẹgbẹ́ alájẹsẹ́kù tí bá ní ìpìlẹ̀ ọ̀la ká lè bá tètè roko délé ajé lójú ọjọ́ pẹ̀lú kátàkárà lórí àwọn kò ṣeé má ní ojoojúmọ́ bíi herbal food supplements àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ a jẹ́ pé gbogbo ẹni tó bá darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ alájẹsẹ́kù multilevel marketing ni ó jàǹfààní ètò ẹ̀yáwó ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan láti dáṣẹ́ tara wọn lẹ̀ bákan náà ni gbogbo ẹni tó bá darapọ̀ mọ́ wa pẹ̀lú owó wọn ni ó máa gba èrè gọbọi lóṣooṣù èyí kì í ṣe sogún dogójì o fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ẹ kàn sí multilevel marketing cooperative investment credit society limited lónìí ní health concern building lẹ́bàá MRS filling station nítòsí Bishop Phillips Academy Iwo Road Ìbàdàn tàbí lọ́fíìsì wa tó wà ní Stanbic Bank building Niger West area Challenge Ìbàdàn ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ 090504816 090504816 pẹ̀lú multilevel marketing cooperative investment credit society limited wàá roko délé ajé.
On a cool day, what do you want to do?
Make you spice up your life.
As in, collect suya as it is hot. And chilled Sprite to take cool body.
Give your favorite pepper meal that extra vibe with a chilled bottle of Sprite, now in a new bottle. Enjoy the refreshing lemon lime taste of Sprite no matter the heat.
Here, we are all champions. With 2 months Showmax Pro for the price of one, you can stream all of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games and more. Witness history in the making and salute the power of the human spirit. Here, we honor every story in every event. Let's celebrate together with 2 months for the price of one. Stream the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 live from Supersport on Showmax Pro. Sign up to watch world-class sports, series, movies, and more at showmax.com today.
Are you a business owner interested in an alternate stream of income? Then you are qualified to sign up and become a Stanbic IBTC at Ease agent in your area.
Stanbic IBTC Bank is taking banking right next to the people. Credible bank agents are needed to sign up.
To confirm your eligibility and also sign up, please visit www.stanbicibtcbank.com now.
It pays to be a Stanbic IBTC at Ease agent. It pays to have an alternate stream of income.
Stanbic IBTC. It can be.
For ShopRite, you go fit find everything when you want plus more. Like Dano 900-gram cool cow milk and Cadbury 500-gram beverage for 3,099 naira 99 kobo, and Kellogg's 400-gram Moon and Stars Cocoa Pops for 999 naira 99 kobo pere. All this price then go last till August 8, 2021. ShopRite, tertiary price when you fit trust all the time.
All right, you're welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. 32 FM 94.9 Dugbe Ibadan. That's the station. Don't forget we are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube this morning. Joel A. at Ladia Gbadigeshin. Thank you so much for watching us live on Facebook. And Gabby Gabriel. We're going to go into the analysis of the reports right now. And after that, we're going to take your headlines. We're going to take them on YouTube and Facebook. Omotolane Abiola, Amobasharun, thank you so much. Dr. Olu Ojadokun is with me on phone right now. Good morning, Doc.
Top of the day to
you. So how's the UK, Doc?
Oh, well, it's there. At least it's restful.
Okay.
We have regular power,
all right,
water, and all whatnot.
All right.
So it's good.
Good. All right. What about the Delta variants? Is it an issue?
Not so much an issue because the government is keeping up in terms of vaccination.
Okay.
So I think the government has ramped up vaccination and they're doing it now even for the younger ones from the 16 to 17s.
Okay.
So I think that's countering it, the vaccination. I think that's giving us an head sway.
All right. Okay, Doc. We have a first report here, and it's about Sunday Igbo's judgment, which came yesterday. I mean, the Nigerian court judgment. The Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization Afenifere has praised the two Nigerian judges who delivered judgments on two cases involving the Yoruba activist Sunday Adeyemo Igbo and his detained aides yesterday. He noted that those responsible for the execution of the rulings should be sanctioned if they fail to comply. So, does that mean that Igbo is off the hook at the moment and the issue of extradition is no longer in question? And that's one. Number two, are we talking about compliance here?
Well, first and foremost, yes. I think there are two separate hearings and two separate judgments. One was to do with the bail of the 12, and the other two, of course, to do with the prosecution, the arrest, or the clamping down on Sunday Igbo's accounts, freezing them. Let's take the second first. For you to be able to extradite Igbo, there must be a substantive case that is pending. There must be allegations. Already we know that the courts have restrained the DSS or its agents from pursuing any such allegations against Igbo. So that's in a normal, civilized, democratic country. Igbo will be free to move wherever he wants. But that's a condition. The other aspect about it is that the aides now, there is no substantive allegation or charge that is being pursued against them. And even if they were, if I was wrong, at least they're on bail and they can pursue their defense. So you ask the fundamental question, which has to be asked: why go all guns blazing, shooting your way through, killing two people, when there might not even be a substantive case against Igbo? So it raises many questions. And those questions means that the DSS and their agents need to be investigated. It's not just enough, to get court judgments in favor of Igbo, but I think an example should be made of overzealous agents or their masters who have directed them, because it touches on the fundamental human rights of Nigerians.
And what happens to those killed? Are they gone that way? Are they gone like that?
I would expect them to seek compensation, and I would expect that the officers involved be tried, be prosecuted, because if they went in an unjustified manner, if they cannot prove that it was self-defense or in the course of their duties, legitimate duties, then of course they could be charged for manslaughter or indeed in some instances a culpable homicide, murder. So I don't think they should be let free. And even if they get away because the government doesn't charge them, then there's a civil matter, there's a civil consequences, which means damages could be sought from them, and so that the government learns a lesson that you do not just go and trample upon the rights.
Now, Doctor, I raised those two questions again. What about the question of compliance?
Well, the compliance, yes, you raised that. Well, that's another matter. If they don't comply, then they will be in contempt of court. and if they're in contempt of court, then it builds on the fence to pursue it through the courts and to get a judgment. I think ours, or their responsibility, is to get the judgment. The compliance, of course, is left for the government. I think the government would have to decide, or its agents, whether you want a society which has the semblance of democracy, or whether you want full-blown tyranny. And if they fail to comply, then we know that we are no longer pretending to be democratic. You know, we are now putting on the garb of a tyrannical regime. If that's the case, but I have every doubt. I don't have any doubt that the government will comply.
Now, is this likely to influence the case going on in Benin Republic?
Well, it is, because you see, there are two aspects. It is claimed, I haven't seen the charge sheet, that he may have breached some immigration offences. If that were true, then what normally would happen is that you would deport him, you understand, because those offences are minor considerably. But if indeed it is beyond that, and it has to do because Nigeria suspects him of committing some grievous crimes, then that's another matter entirely, because those crimes, so-called crimes, the courts cannot pursue them in Nigeria, which means there's no case against him here, and therefore any extradition or any extradition rather, based on that, will fail, because there's nothing, you understand, to extradite him. There must be a substantive case. There must be beyond mere allegations. So I think the extradition is dead on arrival. Right. But he might have some immigration matters which he has to resolve with the Beninese authority. But what is also clear is that it's become very political. And if he has applied for asylum anywhere, his chances of asylum have just increased 100% fold.
All right, in other news, Nobel laureate Professor Wale Soyinka has blamed Nigerians, including himself, for the rate of impunity in the country. According to the foremost playwright, Nigerians have allowed whatsoever is happening to them today to continue and have refused to take to the streets. The renowned dramatist pointed out that everyone in the country is paying for the consequences of impunity. Now, he's saying that Nigerians have refused to take to the streets, and we know what is happening at the moment. Nigerians are not allowed free protest, free demonstration. You understand what I'm trying to talk about?
Yes. Well, it's all right for the professor to blame himself and to blame Nigerians. We're all living witness to end SARS and to the Nigerian youth who went to the streets. In the end, it was hijacked by hoodlums. But even before that happened, they were crushed. We're all witnesses to many other demonstrations that people try to put on display. And the police comes down heavy-handed and tries to crush them. So it's easier said than done. Yes, the professor has done his own fair share of demonstrations. In the 50s, in the 60s rather, he was able to go to a station, take over a station, you understand, and make a public announcement. He's done a lot of daring times during his time. But we're facing very uncertain times, a very different kind of government. And for you to be able to protest to have an impact, the government you are responding to must have a conscience and they must have the interest of the people at heart. If they don't, then they have the might and they have the police and they have the army behind them. They will crush you. So it is very difficult, which means we must find alternative spaces other than the old formula of going to the streets and protesting. That formula is not working. It's not working because the government is not necessarily respecting the fundamental human rights of Nigerians. So we must find other spaces, be it the internet, not Twitter, because Twitter has been banned to a certain extent.
And
we must find
this is 2 months of Twitter. 2 months of Twitter. This is 2 months that Twitter has been banned. 2 months of Twitter ban.
Yes, and we've lost about 150 billion as a result of that.
I don't think the federal government cares about the number of billions lost so far.
Well, they don't seem to care, and which tells you whether they care really about the well-being of Nigerians and the small businesses all over the place. So it's a difficult one. I'm not blaming Wale Soyinka for what he said, but the fact is that how do you go against a government who has a monopoly of weaponry, a monopoly of violence, the state institutions, without you yourself being slaughtered? Not many people want to die. And until Nigerians are prepared, to say, well, we have nothing to lose, you understand, we will demonstrate peacefully, not violence. We're not advocating violence on this program, but we will demonstrate peacefully. And if we get mowed down in that process, we will still continue to demonstrate. It is only in those instances that the government might wake up and say, well, we can't go against every Nigerian.
All right, in other news, Dr. Adedokun, The Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajiba, has appealed to bandits to halt the abduction of students. The minister made the appeal when he featured on Channels TV. He was asked to comment on the release of 3 abducted students of the Bethel Baptist High School in Kaduna, but he was actually appealing and begging to bandits. Does it mean that the federal government cannot and will never do anything about banditry in this country?
First and foremost, I think it reveals the impotency of the government when you start trying to debate, when you start trying to reason with the so-called bandits and the terrorists. These people are not given to reason. We are not in a debating society where you debate the merits and the demerits of kidnapping and so on and so forth. They don't understand all those finer points. I doubt if many of them are even educated up to any reasonable level. So I think it exposes the nakedness of the government in terms of its ideas, in terms of its ability to curb this kidnapping. But a lot of people have argued, and I've argued, that if they can track down the goals of this world, they can track down the canons of this world, then it's not beyond the federal government if they want, if the political will is there, the muscle is there, through their intelligence, to be able to track down those that are involved in banditry. So maybe the appeal by the minister is a smoke screen, while the federal government behind the scene is trying to track down many of these kidnappers, terrorists, and bandits, as some of them are referred to. So I would rather choose that latter view. But I think it would be very unfortunate if all we have is just a wing and a prayer. A prayer, you understand, we must do. But we can't just, rely just on prayer. A prayer has to be informed by a plan of action by the government. And we're not seeing it. All we're just seeing is lamentations, appeals, pleadings, and beggings. And that will not do.
Now, if you're talking about attacking of going after bandits in this country,
yes.
Is it on the purview of the Nigerian army? Is it on the purview of the Nigerian police? Or we invite the DSS to assist?
Well, I think because some of them operate in a quasi-military fashion, what you need first, you understand, is gather intelligence. Is intelligence that will determine whether it's the police, whether it's the army, or whether indeed it's the DSS that should go in. I think they need to gather enough intelligence, and which means that you have to embed people within the areas of the banditry. So it will depend on the nature of the conflict. I think where heavy armory is involved and so on and so forth, the Nigerian police, has limitations, and so you get the army involved. These are people that bring down jets. These are people that have the capacity and the ability to raid willy-nilly. So the police may not have the numbers, they may not have the equipment. So I think it's a combination. I think it has to be a joint effort by the military, by the police, and by the Nigerian intelligence, whether it's the military intelligence or whether it's the civilian intelligence. I think it just has to be a combined effort on all sides.
But we cannot rule out the will of Mr. President, the willpower of the federal government to go after these people.
Yes, I think the priority of the federal government, is it their priority? Is the priority to go after the canons, or the priority to go after the Moors? Or is the priority to go after those terrorists now being labeled as bandits all over the country, or the Boko Haram? So I think it's also a question of priority. It's a question of, we have the weaponry, or we are getting some of the weaponry. We have the forces, but do we have the intelligence? And as you said, do we have the will, the political will? There's the body language there, because even these bandits, they read the body language of those in government, and once they see that the government deals them a terrible blow, you understand, and once they feel that they cannot get away with their activities and the risk factor is so high, that many of them begin to de-escalate and begin to re-evaluate the kind of criminal activities they're involved in. But when they feel that there's impunity, they can get away with it, then they continue to test the will of the government. So the government has to find a way to respond.
All right, yesterday or 2 days ago, Barrister Femi Falana called out the federal government, telling it to name the 400 sponsors of Boko Haram. What led to that allegation?
There's been an allegation that the Attorney General of the Federation, since 3 months ago, has refused to reveal details. And some are arguing that he's attempting, to quash some of these cases, come to some kind of arrangement, some sort of arrangement, quasi-legal arrangement. Those are allegations. Nobody has been able to prove it. But what Falana is saying is that release the details of these people. Let's have it full accountability. Let's know what is going on. But let me look at it from the point of view of the the Attorney General of the Federation. These are very sensitive investigations. These are very sensitive charges. Sometimes you don't want to reveal all the details of these people. Why? Because you could put their lives at risk, and of course it could jeopardize some of the investigations that are going on. So my own view is that we have to be very careful. Yes, in some instances you may reveal the details, but you can't in every circumstance reveal the details of some of these characters. If indeed the Attorney General is sincere, and if indeed he's pursuing these prosecutions and is not dropping them off, then my own view will be let them continue to shroud it in whatever confidentiality. But if it's clear that it's a smoke screen to get these people off, then I'll be very concerned, and I'll be supporting Femi Falana's application. So let's see where it leads us. But the federal government should be no doubt that all these 400 people are quite vital, to the war against all this criminality and terrorism. Because without money, without the facility, the Boko Haram cannot operate. Boko Haram need oxygen, and their oxygen are the finances that are coming from some of this bureau de change and financiers.
All right, when we come back, Dr. Jadoko, we're going to talk about the federal government's acquisition of minority stake in Dangote refinery and what that will be, what implication that will be on availability of fuel, because that's what's important to the common man. How will fuel be available at cheaper and affordable, and of course to the common man anyway. Federal government, the FEC backs federal government's acquisition of $2.76 billion minority stake in Dangote refinery. When we come back, we'll talk about that. Stay with us.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use Comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth they cause most tooth pains will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Charles!
Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
Egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí, egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni, ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
Ojú rẹ̀ ṣàǹjọ̀lọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneto cleanser ni.
Já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneto cleanser. Egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. Inú tó ń kú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò. Kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneto cleanser. Egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC Fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneto cleanser jáde. A wà ní nọ́mbà 17 Ọba Akínyẹlé off Adeogun Street, Aláàfin Avenue, Olúyọ̀lé Estate, Ring Road, Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08034051533. Fún títà àti rírà, ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Veneton cleanser. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ń ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
Let your kids' imaginations run wild as they blast off into a whole new world of awesome edutainment on DSTV. There's a huge selection of shows to choose from, like Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir on Disney Channel.
She's so amazing.
A Week to Beat the World on Da Vinci.
I've never seen a sport like it.
Grizzy and the Lemmings on Boomerang. And Nick Music on Nicktunes.
Can I get a drum roll, please?
It's your moment to get and stay connected to the wonderful world of DSTV.
Gigi. Stanbic IBTC. Gang. 909. Gang. Whoa, it can be. Gang. When you use 909. Gigi. Send money via 909. Buy airtime via 909. Sub data via 909. Pay bills via 909. That's the 909 ash. Money miss fraud and no cash. How you go do birthday bash? That's the 909 ash. 909 is the gang code.
Join the star 909 hash gang today. Stanbic IBTC. It can be.
With INT'L Home Broadband device, your home is connected and you all can focus on the important things in life. Enjoy the finer things in life in the INT'L HBB seasonal offer. Visit any certified INT'L shop to get a 4G MiFi at 9,999 Naira plus up to 55 gigabyte bonus data, or router at 19,999 Naira plus up to 160 gigabyte bonus data. Offer valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions apply.
INT'L, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Olas Tony, thank you so much. I got a message on Motola Naviola. I got a message there. Dr. Jadoku, thank you for hanging on. Yes, $2.76 billion minority stake in Dangote refinery, and of course, the federal government is rehabilitating Warri and Kaduna refineries to the tune of $1.484 billion. Now, I asked the question earlier: how does this bring fuel cheaper, affordable, freely to the common man, to the common average Nigerian? Because fuel is our day-to-day product. Nobody goes out, nobody lives in Nigeria without using fuel. We don't have the solar economy at the moment in the large scale.
Yes, I'm sure everybody has heard of what is described as landing costs. Most of our refineries, most of our oil is refined abroad, if not all. A significant proportion of it, 90% or even more, is refined abroad, which means that there are landing costs associated with it. When you take your oil abroad and you refine it, then you bring it back, there's going to be costs associated with it. Those costs are being borne by the federal government at the moment to the tune of billions and billions. And when it comes to about a year, it now reaches trillions. And those are amounts of money which could have been saved if we had refineries locally that were refining these products. Of course, it will save the federal government a lot of money. And of course, if it saves a lot of money, it means that our debt, decreases, and we are spending less on debt servicing and more on bettering the lives of people. But I also think there is a plus there for Dangote to a certain extent, because the reason why Dangote is really to accept 2.7 billion, I believe it is,
2.76 billion,
is because. Yes, it's because he himself, you understand, has not been able to meet the target it's set. It was supposed to be completed, that's the refinery, in 2017, 18, and 19 rather, and they've missed that date. We're now in 2020, and we're now in 2021. So there's a funding issue also from the Dangote side, and therefore that money from the federal government is welcome. But by and large, I think it's a plus for Nigerian people that a private refinery is coming on board. As to the rehabilitation of Warri Kaduna refineries, I'm not so sure. The reason why is because they've been rehabilitated so many times, and each time they are faced with sabotage. So the federal government has to come up with a plan to prevent sabotage, so that we don't get them sabotaged again, and this is not money down the drains. Otherwise, we're just pouring money down the drains, and we're not getting value for money.
Also, the coastal railway project is gulping $11.1 billion.
Yes, that's been welcome. In fact, many people thought, and I've argued on this program, many other programs, that should have been a priority over the railway to Niger. That in terms of the economy, it makes more sense, because there needs to be a linkage between the southeast and the southwest, and indeed all of the south, because of the volume of trade and the volume of production and industrialization that we seek to achieve there. That's not to say that we should leave out a section of the country. I'm just trying to say that it makes economic sense to major on the things that work before you major on the things that are not working. So I think it's welcome development. It will increase economic opportunities. It will increase the industrialization of Nigeria. And let's hope that its value for money is not bloated and overinflated contracts and let's see where it takes us in terms of the next level.
All right, quickly back to the refinery issue. How soon are we looking at?
Well, with the Dangote one.
Yeah, the Dangote refinery, when they will, it comes to full capacity of production.
Well, with the Dangote one, I think within a year or two, we should have full production. It's a very large refinery, the largest in Africa, I believe. It's quite enormous. So within a year or two, I think we should begin to see some of the benefits. As to the Warri Cardinal refinery, I don't know. Well, you remember there's one of the refineries, I don't remember where we've already paid some money and work. That's the Port Harcourt, I believe, the one in Port Harcourt, Eleme, and I believe that one will come on stream soon. So I think within the next 2-3 years, our refinery should become on board. But in the meantime, the question is, what do we funds we are subsidizing with a lot of money that we don't? Main conundrum the federal government faces at this point now. What do we do in the next 2 years whilst we wait for these refineries to come on board? Do we have the capacity to continue to subsidize? And I'm not sure that we do.
All right, before we open the phone lines, Doctor, let's take this political story. Amid deepening crisis, Nigeria's main opposition, the PDP, says it remains in the best position to end the dominance of the APC in the country's political space. The party, in its first official statement since the resignation of 7 of its National Working Committee members on Tuesday, said it has activated a conflict resolution mechanism to end raging discord among its members. With the resignation of NWC members and some of its Board of Trustees members, the PDP's internal rumblings took another turn, threatening its chances against the ruling APC in the 2023 general elections. And the PDP is still saying that it remains in the best position to end the APC rule.
I think some would suggest they're living in cloud cuckoo land. The main opposition to the APC government at this point in time is not the PDP. It is the Nigerian people. The PDP has failed to come up with a coherent, with a narrative, a compelling narrative as to why Nigerians should support them. We have an APC government that has been failing. Most people believe they've been failing. Most people believe that they've not been up to scratch in terms of security, in terms of the economy. The only plus that many people give them is maybe in terms of infrastructure. And yet the APC appears, you understand, to be walking away with it and probably strolling to victory. Why? Because the PDP has been unable to get its act together. There's been a spate of defections. The leadership of the PDP doesn't seem to have a clue as to how to tackle the APC. So I think if PDP claims that they're the only viable opposition, I think they need to go back to the drawing board. It's not enough to be there. Much more than being there, they have to act. And they don't seem to be acting, they don't seem to have a compelling narrative and a compelling vision for the people of Nigeria. So it's sad. It is sad because we have a government that is failing and a government that is not performing up to the full potential that Nigeria has got. And yet we have an opposition party that doesn't seem to know how to tackle it. So I think the PDP has to go back to the drawing board. Maybe this is another opportunity for the so-called third force that people have been talking about, where people can coalesce and form a new political party that can challenge both of them, both the PDP and the APC. And I think Mahmoud Jega was right when he said neither the PDP nor the APC offers the solutions to Nigerian problem. We need a viable alternative, but time is passing. 2023 is very near the corner, and I'm not sure that we'll be able to form a major political party before that time.
Hello, good morning. Hello. Just turn down the volume on your radio set.
Hello, good morning, Tayo.
Good morning, this is Dele.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, this is Dele. Good morning.
Yeah, can you hear me? This is Dr. Mark. Good morning.
Dr. Mark, good morning.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jeduko. You see, when it has to do with our refinery in Nigeria, there was a paper I wrote that I sent to the federal government then, that the priority to this administration should be to put all the refineries to work. I was surprised that they gave more attention to train than refinery. And we know fully well that this is what moves our economy at this time. It has direct impact on every Nigerian. What I will still suggest is there is solution. This putting the refineries to work, it can be a PPC. Let us bring in private individuals, multinationals like we have in the Shell, Chevron, and the rest. They come in and buy into this, and government also go into that arrangement with them. Just like they are doing with Dangote now, they could do the same with all of these refineries that have gone moribund. And then we will have them working. This issue of going to refine abroad and come back is eating our economy, is killing Nigeria economy. And I'm telling you, the cabals are making a lot of money from it. That's why the thing looks as if it is the only solution. The solution is that we bring in multinationals that are good at putting this thing to work. Till now, Element Petrochemical is working because it has been sold to Indians. And we could buy some of these PVCs and some petrochemicals that we are using in the country today from there. So the solution is actually bringing multinationals to buy into the idea, and then we'll have our refineries working. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mack, for your contribution there. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, okay.
Okay, good morning, my brother. Really, the question is, year in, year out, we always have turnaround maintenance on these refineries. We hear it's always in the budget. I don't think there is any yet, if not, and nothing is coming out. So the question we should ask is, really, will these refineries, even with the turnaround, will it ever work? And if it will work, how are we going to do it? Like the first caller just said, is it not that some people are actually milking it and using it as a source of making more wealth? I don't know about the Dangote issue, but I question. We always say government has no business in being in business. So probably they are coming in now. Maybe that will be another way. You know, we are suspicious of every move of the government. We don't know what they want to do. They don't want the refineries to work until we decide to make it work and realize that every Nigeria, like you rightfully said, the petrol affects everybody. Then we'll be ready to do the good thing. Good morning.
All right, thank you, okay, for calling. Omotolani Abiola on Facebook, he said, very annoying and shameful for Nigerians as federal government plan to invest in Dangote refinery. What is wrong with our system? No institutions in Nigeria that is working perfectly. We are appealing to the president to do the needful by restructuring this country before 2023 elections. Thank you, Omobasharon. Dr. Yadokun, okay, ask the question, is it going to work?
Well, the point is that you can never trust government, to run businesses. I mean, the ideal thing would have been what Obasanjo wanted to do so many years ago when he actually sold all our refineries to Dangote and Odetola, only for Yaradua to refund the money when he came on board. So I think privatization is the way forward. The government may maintain a stake, like a strategic stake, but it's only the private sector that can ensure that they work, they're turned around, and that they're for the benefit of business. And if it works for their business, it works for Nigerians because they want to make money. Whereas the federal government doesn't necessarily want to make money. All they want to do is make it work. And sometimes when you have officials there, they get their salaries, and so whether it works or not, they don't really care. So we need the private sector in because the private sector will care because they need to make money.
All right, the phone lines are open, 0705 5949, 0809 7949. Hello. Okay, quickly we'll take a break for the last lap of our messages. When we come back, the phone lines are still opened.
Charles!
Yes, Mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hypo bleach for me.
Why 2?
Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them. But they are there. And that is why I trust only hypo bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of hypo bleach.
Ǹjẹ́ o fẹ́ nǹkan tó bá ẹ lára mu? Obìnrin tàbọ́kùnrin, iṣẹ́ tí yóò gbé ẹ̀bùn rẹ jáde, ilé tí ó bá ipò rẹ mu. Ó dáa, ibùsùn tó bá ara, ọjọ́ orí, ìgbé ayé àtàpò rẹ mu ńkọ́? Lọ sí www.muka.com/buyrite tàbí èyíkéyìí ibi ìtajà Muka láti wá Muka tó bá ẹ lára mu. Ẹgbẹ́ àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ onímọ̀ ìlera fún ìtẹ̀lú. Muka máa ń fara látìlẹ́yìn tó nílò láti jí pépé ní ìgbáradì fún iṣẹ́ òòjọ́. Muka, ó máyé rọrùn.
Our oil sachet, 70 naira, only 70 naira. I said our oil sachet now, 70 naira, only 70 naira. Opunga cooking oil now, 70 naira. For a healthy family, 70 naira. Opunga cooking oil now, 70 naira. Our oil sachet, 70 naira.
Power oil for a healthy family.
Here, we are all champions. With 2 months Showmax Pro for the price of one, you can stream all of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games and more. Witness history in the making and salute the power of the human spirit. Here, we honor every story in every event. Let's celebrate together with 2 months for the price of one. Stream the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 live from Supersport on Showmax Pro. Sign up to watch world-class sports, series, movies, and more at showmax.com today.
Every day we dey grind, traffic everywhere. The hustle must continue, but not on an empty stomach.
Try the new Gala Classic today. It's bigger, meatier, and tastier, all for 100 Naira only. Gala Classic, more to fuel your hustle.
Babe, that girl must be using something.
Hey, Berry, what kind of something?
You to see how she's always smiling, displaying her 32.
You're cuckoo right. I know her secrets. I know what she's using. She uses it twice a day.
Tell me her secrets.
I'll give you a hint. ABZ.
ABZ?
Yes, ABZ is the secret. Close-Up contains antibacterial zinc, ABZ, which gives you 3 times more freshness and 3 times more protection. Better than your regular toothpaste. Now you know the ABZ secret.
The new Close-Up is her secret. Everybody must hear.
You can't keep a secret.
New Close-Up with antibacterial zinc. Triple the freshness, triple the protection.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hello?
Hello, morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, good morning.
I can hear you. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Emeka from Abete.
Okay, good morning, Emeka.
Thank doctor for his analysis, but I doubt if you, the presenter, had a clue on the judgment at the court in Ibadan and that of Abuja. As far as I'm concerned, the matter is just starting. Good morning.
All right, 0705 5949 0809 700949. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hello. Let me add this. This is Dr. Mark. I want to suggest the solution to the problem of insurgency in this country is that the government show that they are serious to fight these people called bandits. Because the truth of the matter is we do not even know whether there is an arrangement between government and these so-called bandits because we are not going after them at all. I'm telling you the truth. In government, with all these fighter jets that are coming now, let us see them moving into the forest and clearing these people out. Otherwise, I don't know what Nigeria will become. We keep saying people are not coming to invest into this country, but government is not showing that they are ready to flush out bandits away. Get them arrested or show some signs that you are fighting with them, and so that these things can stop. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Dr. Mack. Dr. Jedokun, is the UAE reversing its airlines from carrying people from Nigeria?
Yes, that's what we've heard, that there's been a review, which means that the airline will begin to carry people from Nigeria. I think two factors. One of the factors is that they're impressed with the stringent conditions that we put in place. And the second aspect is that there's a reciprocal arrangement. A lot of these airlines want whatever is happening in their country to be reciprocated in whatever country they're transacting with. At the end of the day, I think they want to be sure that we're very serious about the Delta variant. And I think the evidence suggests that at least the federal government does get some things right. And I think they're getting it right there. So I think it's good news for some people who want to go to Dubai straight or want to go to the Middle
That was a report that we got yesterday, right? Now, I'm saying that, is there a reversal on that announcement from yesterday?
I don't have any evidence yet that there's a reversal.
Okay.
But if there's a reversal, I think it will be a terrible blow. It will be a blow to our economy and to be a blow to Nigerians. I hope not. I hope not.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Displaying seriousness.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
It's Comrade Jomodulu, engineer from Magbowo. In respect of the statement credited to Professor Wole Soyinka concerning the protest The processor also is fully aware of the situation Nigerians are facing concerning their fundamental right in terms of peaceful assembly currently in this administration. And we should know that the right to life is very paramount. It's superior to all other rights. It is only the living that can stage a protest. In a situation whereby the current president enjoyed the fundamental rights on November 2014, he staged a protest then concerning the insecurity, but he has decided to deprive Nigerians of the same right he enjoyed. Nigerians have to exercise caution and to so that they can live longer. They can enjoy their life and their protest after this administration. God bless Oyinka. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Comrade Omololu. We can take a few more calls before we wrap up. 0705 5949 0809 7949. Those are the numbers to call. And quickly, we look at some other headlines here. NAFDAC vows intensive campaign against substandard products. And another one I saw just now, Nigeria poorest, when we talk about food affordability in I think in Africa or in the world. That's sad news. And no thanks to Boko Haram. Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hello, good morning.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I think John Omariwaju from Nigeria. I think when we're talking about the train of the binary apart, I think if you put it on the scale of progress, we discover that using the train.
Hello. Hello. All right, let's do the last call here. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, Wale from Soka area, Ibadan.
All right.
I think Professor Wale Shenka is right. But in another way, I think those who voted for President Buhari in 2015 and 2019 should be blamed. And the likes of Professor Wale Shenka, Baba Bosanjo Tinubu should equally be blamed. Because Professor Wale Shenka said that time that Buhari has turned to a Democrat. And that's why people voted for him. They should all equally be blamed. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for calling 32 FM. Well, that's the last call we're going to take. Dr. Jadokun, thank you so much for your time with us this morning.
A pleasure.
All right. Yes, my name is Dele Adeyanju, and that's the wrap. That's a wrap on the show today, and the program returns tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock. Next is Smart Kids Show with Auntie Oiza.
FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter.
Show me your 32. Amen. Àwọn èèyàn tí ń tẹlifóònù mi, wọ́n kọ́ọ̀lù mi, wọ́n ń dáàdì kí ló dé, kí ló ṣe yín, ẹ̀ ṣàjọ̀dún ìwé, ẹ̀ tún ṣàjọ̀dún àwọn àgbà.